everybody. I'm Poop Witch X, and I am joined today by the lovely and amazing NoobTasticGaming. How are you, NoobTastic? What are you doing tonight? How are you?
I mean, we're chilling in the Noob's Nerd Corner, hanging out with the Poop Coven, and apparently 40 freaking hosts. What the
We
fuck?
did. We wanted, that's a new thing, because you guys, you know, we know we're trying to get partnered. 40 hosts is now our new record, and we wanted to hit it before the podcast started, and bam! Podcast started, 40th host, boom! And you know my lucky number's 4, which I love.
Let's
What's your
go.
lucky number, NoobTastic?
So we need 4 more, so there's 44.
Yes. Oh, stop. You understand me so well. Like, oh my God. You get me. You understand me.
It's like we're in the same brain.
We're in any 4. You know what the most elite number in the world is? 4 4s. Are you kidding me? Can you handle 4 4s? I cannot. Before we get going, also, what are your pronouns?
She, her.
Perfect. Thank you. So I want to start off because I remember when Chris told me I just talk about Chris like everyone knows Chris, like everyone, Chris. But we're talking about Chris Mack, who is the founder of the Erica Legacy Foundation. When he reached out, I was talking to him about who he was going to partner with next, and I knew you and I had known each other a while already. He was like, you have to hear NoobTastic's story. Like, she has a ridiculous story and background, and like, you have to. And I was like, oh my God, well, we have a podcast together, and I'm going to ask her all of the things. I'm going to ask her everything. So first off, I want to ask you, how did you get into streaming, and when did you first start?
Oh, well, okay. That was kind of the backwards of how I thought I was going to answer those questions. But so it kind of goes way back before that. I started streaming because I started playing video games as a form of therapy because I had a brain aneurysm in 2017.
Wow.
And so
okay, so I remember that discussion because we were talking about that in my stream once. Do you remember, like, a long time ago about you overcoming having an aneurysm? And I just want to say, like, if you don't know what an aneurysm is, would you like to explain, so anyone who might not be familiar with it, what it is?
Yeah. So, okay. It's actually really funny. So, before... You threw me off, lady. Fuck.
What? Did you have a script ready to go? No. I mean, no. It's a burst blood vessel in your brain, right?
No. So, okay. So, before that, I'm also autistic. Okay. And I didn't get diagnosed with autism until I was in my mid-30s.
Oh, wow. That's common with women, right?
Yeah. And well, especially, I mean, I'm 43. Go figure. A woman in her mid-fucking 40s playing video games on the internet. I just, talk to strangers in my bedroom playing video games. Come on down.
Right.
But, no, so when I was a kid, they didn't notice that. They didn't see that. It wasn't a thing. And so I had just got diagnosed with autism, and I was just kind of figuring that out. And about a year or so later, I was getting ready for work one day and had like the worst headache of my entire life. I felt like sinus pressure in my head. I was like, what the fuck is happening? I was super, super dizzy. Light hurt, everything. I was getting ready and I got out of the shower and I collapsed in my bathroom. And we live in a society where people still have to go to work because I worked at a call center. And I was like,
you collapsed in your bathroom? Like you fainted?
I fell over because I was super dizzy. And I worked at a call center where, you can't miss work. So I didn't feel good enough to drive, and I was smart enough to say, hey, Mom, can you take me to work? Because my mom moved in with me after she retired because, retirement doesn't pay much. And I had Mom move in with me after she retired because she couldn't afford her own place anymore. And So I said, Mom, can you take me to work? I can't drive. And so I went to work like an idiot. I'm like, my
God,
my brain exploded, and I still went to work.
America, oh my Lord,
America, land of the free, home of the prisoner to your fucking desk at a cubicle.
Wait, so you, because you know, from my understanding about aneurysms, it's like it's the worst. It's not just like a migraine or a headache. It's like the worst brain pain you can ever experience. Like, yes, it's unbelievable. Because I see people, I have a fear of aneurysms too. They are very scary. There is very little that we can do to prevent them in terms of like scanning or screening. It is scary, and I don't want anyone to get scared. But what I want to just emphasize, what NoobTastics, I know also we have a lot of migraine sufferers in here. What NoobTastic is talking about is it is a non-normal migraine. It doesn't feel like you would, that's how you would describe it. Like, it didn't feel like anything else. Okay.
I've had migraines since I was a kid. And migraines are, don't get me wrong, migraines are terrible. They lay me out for days. This is beyond any of that. And like Mom said, it felt like someone stuck an ice pick through my skull, like, and hammered it through my head, like, worst.
And you were like,
thing I'd ever felt in my entire life. It was, I can't even describe it to people.
I'm sorry. I cannot get over that you felt like you. So you're like, so you blacked out from being dizzy. You went to work. What happened?
So I got to work, and I was in.
Did you take medicine or something, or did you just raw dog this aneurysm?
I did.
Are we allowed to make jokes like that?
Oh yeah, no. I joke all the time that like my brain blew up. It's fine.
Oh my God.
But
okay.
like I went to work, and I was in so much pain that I literally threw up. Like I was in that much pain, and I was wearing sunglasses.
Symptom. Yeah.
I was wearing sunglasses inside because the light hurt so bad.
Wow.
And I asked my boss, because I was working for Spectrum, selling fucking cable to people, internet. And I was like, sir, I told my supervisor, I was like, I can't be on the phones right now. I can't stare at a computer screen right now.
For sure.
Like,
I'm surprised you could even speak. Was your speech slurred or anything, or no?
I honestly don't even know.
Remember, yeah.
But I made it about a partly through the day. He gave me like busy work to do. That is, and I made it to
I'm like getting furious at your boss. Like,
oh no, it gets better. It gets better.
I'm getting angry.
This is the American system at its finest. So I made it to lunch, and I was just in so much pain. You made it half the day? I made it half the day. And I went and sat in a dark room, which was probably by myself, which was probably also the dumbest fucking thing I could have done.
Yeah. Or go to work. That could be also pretty bad.
Right. So I'm sitting there by myself, and like, I shit you not. Okay. So this was March of 2017. My dad had passed away in September of 2016. And
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you. But I mean, it's been a while now, so I wear his ashes.
It doesn't diminish the loss.
I wear his ashes.
He's always with you.
Yeah, he's in a hourglass to remind me that time is important.
Oh, I love that. That's so beautiful. What a good tribute.
So, along with my rocks and stones and all kinds of shit.
You gotta have the rocks. You gotta have the rocks. You can't not have the rocks and shit.
But no, so I shit you not, I heard a voice tell me, you are not okay. You need to go to the hospital. I don't know if that was my dad, an angel, God, the universe, what the fuck ever, whatever you want to call it.
It could even be that like your old part of your brain, which is all in the back. It could have been anything, but like you might have had one of those inner voices of like, and I've heard other like people who have experienced like severe neurological pain hear like, it almost sounds like it could be like a God voice, and they attribute it to like your primal brain trying to keep you alive. Yeah. So
anybody that's had any kind of like near death experience or whatever has said like they've heard voices.
Heard something.
And
It's very common.
so like I called my mom and I was like, I need to go to the ER, like now.
Yeah.
So I told I told my supervisor, I was like, I'm going to the hospital. I'm leaving. I'm out. Deuces. See you later.
What did they say?
Were
they like, okay, fine?
Oh, well, they couldn't tell me I couldn't go.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I was like, bye.
Peace out.
So I got to the ER and I'm allergic to iodine. So they ran a CT scan without contrast first. Then they did a spinal tap. Then they ran another one with contrast. They were like, nope, sorry, we need contrast. They loaded me up with Benadryl first and did another one. And they were like, so you've got blood in your spinal column. You have a bleed in your brain. You had an aneurysm that ruptured. And if you would have waited any longer to get here, you would have been dead. And I'm like, I'm sorry, run that by me one more time. Like, I had a what now?
Wait, so I have a couple questions. Sorry, I have a couple of questions. So my first question is, do you remember? Oh, I'm sure you might remember, but where was the brain bleed in your?
So
what area?
The aneurysm that ruptured was behind my left eye.
So was it near the optic nerve?
Yeah, the optic nerve behind my left eye, and I had a subarachnoid hemorrhage in my brain.
Okay.
And they're like,
Did you lose vision? Did you at any point lose vision? In one eye? Was your pupil pupil bigger than the other?
I have lost permanent like vision loss in my left eye. I've lost about half the vision in my left eye. So they're like, we're going to send you, I live in Colorado Springs, and they're like, we're going to send you via Flight for Life to Denver.
Oh, wow. God, so they put you on a helicopter?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Anybody that's familiar with Colorado knows that it's really fucking windy in Colorado.
Oh my gosh.
So they were like,
I feel like this is an episode of Grey's Anatomy.
They were like, so by the way, it's too windy to fly today. So we're going to put the Flight for Life crew in the ambulance with you and drive to Denver.
How far a drive is that?
And it's about an hour.
Oh, but that's a lot of time when you're dealing with like an emergency like this.
And I'm like, but the funny thing is, here I am, I crack jokes about everything, and I'm like, that's okay, because I didn't want my first helicopter ride to be because of this.
That is the fact. Okay, I just want to also say that at this point, you are 100 fucking percent a warrior goddess. Because let me tell you something. The fact that you had a fucking aneurysm burst in the morning, you made it till lunch at work, okay? You literally had your mom drive you to the hospital. Then they gave you a CT scan that was basically useless. I mean, a CT if they're checking for an aneurysm, and I understand you're allergic to iodine, like, waste of time. They had to, like, that was a waste. I'm getting mad at this staff. And then they're like, oh yeah, it's windy today, so now we're gonna drive you I would have lost literally. Oh my God. You are a champion human being.
The crew is like, they were, doing everything in the ambulance. They're putting my IV in and everything. And the roads between here and Denver were garbage at the time because they were still construction. We have 2 seasons in Colorado, winter and construction. And the roads were garbage. And the guy was like putting in an IV and on like bumpy fucking roads.
Did they have to replace? Why weren't you IV'd before you even got there?
Because they had to put in one that was decent for me to be in the neuro ICU in Denver. And
all right, I'm having a hard time with this story, and it's not even me, and I'm like, I cannot believe.
So and the guy that did the thing, I was like super impressed. I'm like, damn, that was good. And I'm like, wait, to be fair, you're used to putting in an IV in a helicopter, so
true.
I'm good.
Wait, but can I ask you a question, Noobtastic? Like,
yeah.
So how? And I don't mean this in a weird way, but like, how were you conscious through all of this? Like,
I don't know.
Like, I don't understand, because
I don't know.
how severe was the bleed? Like, did it, like, was it a slow bleed? Because, like, how the fuck are you awake all day through all this? Are you made of, like, what are you?
I am made of super strong shit. Like, I don't know.
What the hell?
Like, seriously, I get to the neuro ICU, and they're doing, like, hourly. They are doing neuro checks, and they're coming in and doing
why weren't you getting
ultrasounds? No, I got surgery, like, very quickly.
Okay, they did give you. I'm like, you're saying they came and checked on you hourly. I'm like, honey, did they give you a surgery like immediately?
The thing is, like, it wasn't something they could do like immediately that second. It was still something like they had to prep me for and everything else. And here's the funny thing, they go in to do the surgery, and they wake me up, and they're like, so while we were in there to do the surgery to repair your one aneurysm, we found a second one on the other side. And by the way, where this one is located, you're probably going to wake up either completely blind or half blind in this eye. Do you want us to repair it? I'm sorry, what? Yes? And I'm like, all I heard in that statement was, you'll wake up. And so I asked the doctor, I was like, but I'll wake up, right? And the doctor was like, yeah. And I'm like, so do what you gotta do, doc.
I'm like, hello? I'm having trouble processing this. I'm like,
so they were coming in doing neuro checks and ultrasounds on my skull every hour. So
during the surgery, which they woke you up during the surgery, which is
they woke me up after the surgery. And like they did it, and they were like, okay, they found the second one, and they were like, okay, we have to inform her, like, patient rights bullshit. Right. They have to inform you, by the way, they found the second one.
Before they remove it.
Before they, like, repair the second one, and also let you know that you could wake up blind because of the surgery. And I'm like, okay. All I heard in that statement was, you could wake up.
I'm like, I just find you know what, the thing that annoys me about, there's so many levels of annoyance, but like the thing that annoys me about your story is that I feel like if the doctor saw, I feel like how the system should work is that they tell you all of the risks. They say that, doing this surgery, if we find anything else, do you give us permission to remove it? If we find another aneurysm, if we find, do you give us permission if you may go blind? And then you sign those waivers so that when they're in there, they can take care of everything without having to put you through surgeries multiple times. That's like, I'm like, this is not like minor surgery. This is brain, the most highest level of surgery you can do is neurosurgery or cardiovascular surgery. Those are like the two elite, the hardest core. There's really nothing that supersedes those two. And I'm all right. I'm
no, it's fine.
Oh my God.
But so it was funny because the lady that came in to do the transcranial ultrasounds, she was like, you are literally the only person that I am doing these on that is conscious.
Yeah, I can't believe you were conscious through all this.
She was like,
I really can't.
Every single other person that I'm doing these on is either in a coma or like a vegetative state of some. She was like, I don't understand. I was like, I don't know. And I got to the hospital. I was like, but I got to the hospital, and they were like, they were like, here's your expectations. 2 to 3 weeks in neuro ICU, 2 to 3 weeks in inpatient neuro ward, 2 to 3 weeks in inpatient physical and inpatient therapy. So you're looking at like 6 to 9 weeks in the hospital. Right?
Right.
I went home 11 days later. because
so what do
my
you
body
drink and
just
eat
like
every day? Like, what do you do every day? Like, I want to know your secret, because this is like, I have some familiarity with this because when I was in neuroscience, and I worked at a lab where we dealt with patients who were experiencing Broca's or Wernicke's aphasia, which is from post-stroke symptoms. Some of them did have an aneurysm, and most of them were from strokes, which is a slightly different brain bleed. But basically, I know that this can be a triggering topic for people, so I just want to talk about one of the things that I feel like is going to be beneficial. So first of all, NoobTastic said this was the most painful migraine that she's ever had. It wasn't like anything she's ever experienced, right? Because I have some people messaging being like, this is scaring me. So I just want to give all of the different things you can look for to know.
So time out. Not a migraine.
Yeah. It's not even a migraine.
For anybody out there that suffers from migraines, I promise you.
Yeah.
They're like, the two are not related. Like,
it's like they're not. You felt
they
before.
are night and day different.
Right.
And also, like,
you threw up, which is another sign.
Well, but I mean, the doctor said, like, there is no rhyme or reason as to why this happens.
Right.
There is no something that you can do to like prevent it or anything else. It just happens.
Right.
I mean,
sometimes.
I was 38 years old, and I was laying in a hospital bed planning my funeral with my 20-year-old son.
Right.
You know, like, literally it happened.
Right.
And 4 days later, my fucking same work was calling me saying, when are you going to be back at work? And I'm like, fucking never. Have a great day. Bye.
Which is like, bonkers. Right. I mean, I think that, like, some of the things, you know, again, there are some things that can make you predisposed. So, like, if you have high blood pressure, that is another one. If you do have a family history, if you have any kind of vascularity in that abnormalities.
It
is random.
There's so many things that, like, I mean, there are old people that get them. There are 20-year-old kids that get them.
Right.
It's totally, like, there's no.
Well, I'm trying to help the fear.
No. But I mean, it's truthfully, like, if it's like looking shit up on WebMD. You're gonna drive yourself fucking crazy.
There's always something, and like, it has so many symptoms. I mean, like, it's not like there are so many symptoms. You can black out. You can have slurring of the speech. One pupil can be super dilated, would mean it's like blown out, and the other one's completely pinned, which is like super tiny. You can lose your vision. You could see double vision. Most people who experience a stroke or an aneurysm throw up.
There's so many things.
There's so many things. So it's not like, so if you know the signs, because I'm just trying to, I feel I got like 9 whispers. I'm like, okay, I can feel the nerves ascending in.
If anybody has any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am more than happy to answer anything, ever. Always.
And
talk
also,
about
we
this
need to
on
know
a
what
regular
you
basis
do with your life that you were able to stay conscious, because that is warrior level shit. I want to know what you do every day, because how did you wake up, pass out, go to work, stay till lunch, have an hour drive? How'd you do that? Amazing.
Honestly, and it's like, the universe has bigger plans for me. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah,
I'm amongst like a 2% survival rate. Truthfully, I should not be here.
It's amazing.
And
do you get regular checks now, by the way?
Always. Yeah. I have 3 neurologists. I see matter of fact, I'm seeing my doctor next week. I see my doctor every 3 months. I see a neurologist I get injections every 10 weeks from a neurologist. Like, it's still a long process. It's born almost 5 years later, and I'm still in physical therapy every week.
What are your injections for?
For migraines.
Okay. Were you predisposed to migraines beforehand?
I was, but they've gotten worse. I have platinum coiling in my brain. I have a stent in my brain.
Yeah. Did they put a stent in your brain because they could see your vascularity you had narrowing?
Keep the blood flow open.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So did they find any kind of vascularity thing? Because you had 2, which is unusual.
No. They couldn't find any. Like, I've always had low blood pressure. Like, stupid low blood pressure.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't run in my family. It's not. And again, like I said, no rhyme or reason. Nobody else in my family has ever had one. Nobody else in my family has ever had this issue. Yeah. My blood pressure has always ran like 105 over like 60.
Right.
I don't have heart problems. I don't have these issues. As a matter of fact, like, I was going to the gym like 4 or 5 times a week before this happened. I don't know. I have no idea.
I think what it's funny because when you were saying that, Nair and Naklus actually said the identical thing at the same time. The worrying about a brain aneurysm is sort of like being struck by an asteroid. Like, it's, it happens, obviously it is common, but you can't worry because unless you have a predisposition, if you have a family history of it, if you do have untreated high blood pressure, if you have any kind of preconceived things, then maybe you could go get it checked out. But it, again, like, you can't, there's a million bajillion things that could be happening,
Right. There's no rhyme or reason.
There's no rhyme or reason. Things happen.
So
and
what I started doing was, like, because of it, I became disabled. I used to be like genius level, like, shit you not, like, genius. Like,
you are a genius.
I appreciate that.
I don't want to hear any self-deprecation at all.
It's not a matter of self-deprecation. It's a matter of my brain used to work significantly better than it does now.
I thought you were changing the subjects for a second. I'm sorry.
No.
Like, and then I was like, we're not talking about how
my brain used to function significantly better than it does now. Right. Like, I would sit in physical therapy and I'd be in cognitive therapy and they would ask me to, subtract 9 from whatever. And I would sit there crying because I couldn't do it.
Right. And that's
so my brain just doesn't process anymore. So, and that's why math is outlawed in my channel, fuckers.
Math should be outlawed in every channel because math is trash garbage. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
So then
your brain is rerouting. It's the way,
So I started
functions.
Playing video games as therapy because it helps me with brain processing and, like, memory skills and functioning. And I mean, I've always played video games. I've played video games since my kid is 18 years younger than me. We played video games his whole life. And so we were playing games and it was helping me with, like, my cognitive skills.
Yeah, of course.
And then the pandemic happened and, like, I couldn't go anywhere other than to physical therapy. And even that was online.
Right.
And so I'm playing video games all day, every day at home. And my son is like, hey, Mom, you should start streaming. And I'm like, you know what? Why not?
Why not? I know.
It gives me somebody to talk to and human interaction and like somebody to talk to and deal with. And so I did. And it was like literally at first it was me on a shitty laptop trying to, playing WoW because that's what I played at the time. And that was all my laptop could handle. And then I bought a computer and I upgraded to playing Fortnite because
Fortnite. No, but and I think that just to talk about it, like, you're using video games as a form of Like, I think that, there's a misconception that video games, like, there's the old saying, they rot your brain or whatever. They don't. Not only are your brain, after the trauma that it endured, you're creating new neural pathways, rerouting around the area that was damaged from the aneurysm. And you found not only an outlet for yourself through COVID and all this stuff, but you also found an outlet that I feel like doctors should use more. Like, using therapy for cognition skills is wonderful.
They do, actually.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, there's new studies that's what they use it for. Like, before, like, my cognitive behavioral therapist, she has what she called a brain bike. And it was a bicycle that had a video game screen on it that you played like games on, but then also rode a bike to kind of force your brain to do two different things at once.
Right.
And I shit you not, I cried on that thing so many times because I could not do both things at once.
Right.
And it, like, it's so hard to do. Like, people don't understand. You have no idea what your brain processes at the same time. Like, we take it for granted. We take it for granted what, like...
It's okay. I understand. No, I'm really, I think that you getting upset is beautiful, and it's an important reminder. It's true, because when you haven't endured something like a TBI, which is a traumatic brain injury, or a stroke, or an aneurysm, or any kind of brain concussions, repeated concussions, like, we don't appreciate how many things your brain can do at one time. And when you go from something which, like NoobTastic said, was a norm, when you go from her norm to now having to learn a new norm, and it takes a lot of time and a lot of hard work, and you are an incredibly resilient woman, and you should be insanely proud of yourself. I mean,
so that's why I joke all the time. Like, I tell people, like, look, this is what you're here for in my channel, is shitty gameplay, because I know that I'm not good, and that's why I named myself and that's okay, but that's why I named my channel NoobTastic, because everybody always used to say, like, you're a noob. I took it and I ran with it and I turned it into a positive thing. Yes. Because I would be in lobbies and people would be like, oh, you're such a noob. You're so shitty. You're blah, blah, blah. Yes. And I'd be like, you know what? Fuck you. I am a noob, but I'm a fantastic noob. I'm fucking noob-tastic. So fuck off. I am great at what I do. Right. I am so good. And you know what? I know that my brain blew up, and I know that I'm shitty at games, and I know that I'm gonna end like 23rd or 57th or 97th in Fortnite, and that's okay, because I play with my friends and I have a good time, and we're not playing to win. I'm playing here so that I can literally learn how to use my goddamn brain again, and it's fun.
Yes. and you know what? That's how it should be. You took something that was it really is beyond like a hard time. I mean, you took something that was terrifying. I mean, it's terrifying what you endured, and you made a beautiful thing come out of that terror. And you should be so proud of yourself. And I love that you went and you owned that noob shit. And honestly, who the fuck is even good at games? Jesus Christ. I mean, like,
weirdos that play Dark Souls. That's who's good at games.
Who can even win Dark Souls? Are you kidding me? I played Dark Souls for like 15 minutes, and I was like, are you kidding me? Nobody's good at video games.
I uninstalled it. No. I couldn't play it.
It's so hard. Are you kidding me? It's so hard. No.
So amazing. Here we are, like,
yes.
Now it's been a year and a half.
Yes.
I started in August of 2020. Mm-hmm. And now here I am, and it's like, I built this little corner. Literally, I'm in the corner of my bedroom. my bed is literally right there. I'm in this little like corner of the internet that people come to, that it's like, I started playing just as like this thing for therapy, and it's like I've built this little corner that's like here for nerds, and we hang out, and it's our little safe haven of like, we have become a family. I've had people that have like been there for 2 weeks or a month that they're like, I feel like I've been here for years.
Forever.
And I'm like, that's what it's all about.
It is. And that's what Twitch should be. Like, I always say that if you go into a community and that streamer is not appreciative, doesn't appreciate your time, leave. Because there are amazing content creators who create, like NoobTastic talking about, a corner of joy and happy, and that is what it should be. You should feel like wherever you are, it feels like a family. And I love that is something that you are passionate about and that you also want, because that's how it should be. Like, Twitch should be like that, you know what I mean? Like, have you been on, like, before you started in August, were you on Twitch before that, or was that like your first time?
Very little. I started hanging out like because I played WoW. I started watching this streamer that was a WoW streamer, that he ran people like through dungeons and things and stuff. So I watched his streams. But I didn't watch very many other streams because he didn't ever raid people. So I didn't know like very many other channels.
You didn't know where to go. It's true. Yeah.
I didn't know where to go. But then a few friends were like, hey, you should check out this person. And I got into the DJ community pretty heavy.
Interesting.
Because
like the music community?
Yeah, the DJ side of Twitch. Because while I was playing, it was really good to have music running in the background. And so I had a lot of friends that were DJs. And so, like, and I shit you not, every single channel that I follow, and it's been a year and a half now, every single channel that I follow is because of raids. I have never once searched for a channel, not once. And it's been because this person rated this person, or they rated that person. And there's even been DJs that have rated gamers. And it's so cool. So it's like, now I follow hundreds of people, and it's like, and then I found all of these cool, amazing communities. I found you because Sorry rated you. And you destroyed a chair, and I was like, what the fuck? And
of course, that's when you came when I was destroying a chair. That sounds about right. I was probably throwing this chair around. Honestly, you were in Chris's last stream. That was so funny.
It was during Chris's charity stream.
It was so funny.
And Sorry, I was watching Sorry, and Sorry rated you. And
that's how a network forms. It really does.
And like, that's what so literally, ever since I have been on Twitch, like, I hang out in people's communities and I make friends, and I'm like, this is where I'm going. That's
how you network, by the way. Like, that's how you do it.
It's been a lifesaver for me. Like, I can't go anywhere because my health is not great now. Like, I am immunocompromised now. I'm not supposed to be places, especially with COVID. Like, I'm not supposed to go places now. And now Mom, she moved in with me after she retired. But then my fucking brain blew up, and now she's my caregiver. So, like, we have this wonderfully symbiotic relationship, and thankfully she was there. But
it was almost like it was, like, her being there at the time. I don't know. I mean, sometimes fate, you know, like, things, I mean, you didn't know that was going to happen. You didn't know that that's what you were waking up to that day. And then your mom was there, and then it sort of, and I've said this so many times.
Like Allie said, she's my mod. She and I met at Comic-Con because I used to be a vendor and a volunteer at Comic-Cons. And that particular year, we were both volunteers, and we're both socially awkward, and we were literally trying to hide from people. That's how we met.
Yes.
then COVID happened, and
Oh
we
my God.
were both in lockdown, and
Right.
she saw my post on Facebook that I was watching channels on Twitch, and so she found it. And then like I was like, I'm gonna try this streaming thing. Next thing I know,
Right,
she's
yeah.
my mod, and
Yeah.
here we are.
Right.
And it's like I've this little community of people that like we 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 laugh at each other's jokes, we tell each other fucking everything, we kink shame a little bit, we make dirty jokes, we say all of the things. But you know, I have lightsabers in my corner, like I have a sword, I have a ukulele. It's like, this is the life of a streamer. You get
Right.
it. Like
Yeah,
all of a sudden, your room is not your room anymore. Your room turns into like the prop haven of whatever. Like I have freaking blasters. I have boxing gloves.
Things ever. It takes on a life of its own. It does.
Like,
and then all of a sudden you're like,
what is happening?
It's a spiraling thing of like one thing after another. But that's how it organically goes. And I'm so glad that it's taken on a life for you, and that it's become such a thing of passion, and that you feel it's also an outlet for your own, health journey, back to where you want to be. And honestly, I think that like everything that you said is sort of like how I always say is the best part of Twitch, being, not trying to like network and like but like being friends. Making friends is how you network on Twitch. When people are like, well, how do you grow? That shouldn't be a priority for you. You should want to make friends and hang out and actually get to know people and enjoy people's content without trying to get anything in return. I think that's like 100%. The biggest misconception. You should never be trying. It should always be about making genuine relationships. And like, I love that you did this because your son suggested, and you're like, okay. And you're like, all right. And
no, my son 100%. He was like, Mom, you should stream. And I'm like,
yeah,
all right. And I do like, and like you said, I've made so many friends.
Right.
And like legitimate friends. Like these are people that like I hang out in people's streams, and like, like there's one streamer I hang out in her stream, and like I'm there all the time, and I tell her all the time that like literally she is one of the main reasons that I am still a streamer. Like almost a year ago, when I was still like just a baby streamer, I was hit with like, back when hate raids were like really terrible. I was hit with like a 2,900 person hate raid. And they hit my Discord, and it was terrible. And then like that day, and you've talked about it, like the days where you want to fucking quit. You're like, I'm out. I can't do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And I went and I sat in her channel because she had actually, no, I went to another channel that I knew was a positive, upbeat streamer, and she rated this person. First time I'd ever seen her.
And that's how you found the next one.
And that's how I found
amazing.
Her. And I sat in her channel, and her community was just super positive and happy and like ridiculously amazing energy. Right. And she was like, and I just was talking about like, you know what? I needed this today. Right. And she literally like stopped and was like, why? What happened? And I was like, no. I didn't want to make it about me. I just was like, I needed this today. Right. And she was like, no, what happened? Like, seriously, are you okay? Because she streams for mental health, and everything else like I do. And she was like, no, what happened? And I said, I got hit with a really shitty hate raid today. And she's like, she's an LGBTQ streamer too. And she's like, no, seriously, what the fuck? And I'm like, and I was bawling. I'm not even streaming at this point, but I'm like sitting behind my computer, just like bawling. Right. And like her entire community, like came over to my channel and showed me so much love. And seriously, it's because of her that I'm still streaming today. Right. It made a huge impact on your
life and like on your day, because one streamer gave you the comfort you needed and gave you the support system that you needed. And that is amazing. And honestly, like, I feel like we've talked about that before, like hate raids when they were more prevalent. I know they're still happening. I've experienced them as well. I've been follow botted to like for hours of follow bots. I think that, from a streamer standpoint, people are like, well, why do you like just ban them, purge the chat, move on? But the problem is, it's like, it's so much worse than that. Like, it causes a back end stress that like, even if the community can't see what's happening, we can see what's happening. As a streamer, we can see everything that's happening. We can see that they're still trying to get in. It takes you out.
Me hours to clean up my Discord after that. And it was, and it's like, even if I can manage to maintain on stream,
right.
Like you get off stream and it's like, okay,
like, woof, yes.
All of a sudden it's like, fuck, what just happened?
Right. It's so true. And I think that that's why it's worse than like people. I mean, obviously nobody enjoys, even the communities. Like, everyone hates being follow botted or hate rated, but the stress of it, the aftermath of it, it's bad. I mean, and I've had that happen to me, and we, the mods, like you said, this happened when you first started. That would, like, some people would just like stop right then and be like, I'm done. Because it's so stressful.
I was less than 300 followers at the time.
Right. So
it's
terrible.
It was so long. It was so long ago. And I'm like, ugh.
They target especially like streamers who are smaller, so that you don't have that many mods and you don't have an army to clean it out and make it go away really quickly. And that's why it really was a travesty what happened. So many people were hate rated, follow botted, and then they gave up. And I'm really glad, and I'm really happy that you found this other streamer through a raid, and then you were able to feel like, okay, there's good people on this platform. It was funny.
It was that night. It was that night that I didn't want to, like.
You could say any name you want.
Okay, I didn't want to, like. So it was that night I found, it was Watch Holly. Mm-hmm. I didn't know. And then she rated Twoodles. So it was that night that I found Watch Holly and Twoodles. Yes. I found two fucking amazing streamers.
Isn't it so funny how like everyone like there's such a networking of connectivity in Twitch.
And I shit you not, like, and so by the time, Watch Holly, like, she had already like boosted me up, and I'm like, I'm great. So by the time I got to Twoodle's stream, I'm like, oh my god, I fucking love it here! What the hell? And I'm like, amazing, blowing up her chat, and I'm like, this is amazing. And of course, she lives in Australia, so like, bad words are a flying, and I'm just like. I fucking love you, blah, blah, blah. And I know. It was great.
But that's how it should be. And I feel like that's the side of Twitch that I feel like everyone should want to be on. The networking of like, not necessarily of like, but like the connectivity of all of us that we, the good side, the light side of Twitch, the happiness, the positivity, the inclusivity, like, it should be like that. So, there are dark places on Twitch, but this is how it should be, and I love that that's how it happened for you.
Yeah, like that was so like, and so I've been in Twoodle's chat so many times now. Like I've got her like happiness, hype, love, and equality. Like I've got it fucking memorized now. Like, but that's what I do too. Like I bring, and that's why I felt so connected. Like immediately, like that's what I do. And any people that have been in my channel, they know, like, look, we throw bad words. We say big kid words here.
You can't have a stream without bad words.
We say big kid words here, and I've yeeted people out. Like, it was so funny. One person came into my channel once, and he was like, don't say bad words. And I was like, get the fuck out.
Yeah, no, I mean, do you have 18 plus on your stream? Do you have 18 plus on your stream?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then what the fuck are they talking about?
Right. Right.
Don't say bad words. What words?
So
You have
I have learned to definitely, like, I have gotten so much better with trolls. It's like my favorite color, my favorite flavor are the purple ones. Like I've gotten so much better with them, but it's like one person came over and they were like, don't cuss. And I'm like, time out. What? This is my stream, bitch. I'm sorry. You don't, this is not how that works.
It's true.
And so I was like, you don't do that. And so it was just funny. And it's like, so I started all because I needed to have a safe space.
Right.
Like, you get it. We're girl gamers. We have sat in lobbies and I'm sure over the years been told, you know, called everything for under the sun. I have a voice that sounds like a 12-year-old child. And
no.
Right. Like I sound very high pitched and it's been like, and either they're like, I either sound like a 15-year-old boy or it's like, hey, you're definitely a girl. And we're in a lobby and people are like, oh my God, there's a girl in the lobby. And immediately it's either you suck or they're trying to hit on you.
I don't know which one's worse.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, and so when I started streaming, when my son was like, you need to stream, at first I was very scared. I was very scared to stream.
It's a scary thing.
Still some days I'm scared.
Yeah,
like
me too. Are you kidding me?
You not like every day. I'm like, I don't want to hit that go live button.
Me too. No, I always want to hit the go live button, but I always feel, you know, it gets better with time. But I think there's always those butterflies in your stomach of like, showtime. Let's go.
Well,
you know,
it's so funny because you always talk about like, you know, your upset stomach. I'm like, dude, I had all day, every day, and I think it's just because like
excitement,
we get nervous, and it's like nervous, like we really want to be around our communities and we really want to be there, but in the same respect, it's like, oh God, I don't want to.
Yeah, I know. I think my nerves always stem from like. I just get I feel the same way. It's hard to explain. It's never for me at least, and I can only speak for myself. It's never like a negative nerve. It's like an excitement, like about to, you know, you're anticipating seeing all your friends and you're really excited, but you're like, it's like this buzzing electricity that happens for me, and I have to poop like before every single stream, like literally, like without fail.
Big
like,
facts.
this is my, you know, 10 o'clock stomach needs to empty out so I can actually focus and stream moment. But it's like a very nervous excitement, and I think that like that's how it should be. I mean, like I think that when you get to hang out with your best friends and like how we call it our family, and get to like laugh and be yourselves, and it is a safe and happy and wholesome and wild place, and we get to just do that, it's a privilege and an honor, but it's also, you know, it's like butterflies, you know, you get excited, you're like, oh my God, you know. So I completely understand that feeling.
100%,
for sure.
100%.
Super wholesome.
And it's like you said, it's family, and it's so comfortable, and it's like every day, even if it's just a few of us that are hanging out,
right,
there's always the ride or die homies that are there, that are like,
I'm here, let's go, we're here,
let's go.
Yeah. Right.
And let's fucking go. That's why I made the emote. Let's fucking go.
When you first start streaming, that's another thing that gets asked a lot. When you first start streaming, like, how do you stream to only like 2 or 3 people? And I'd be like, do you understand that those 2 or 3 people took time out of their days to spend with you? Like, I don't care if you're streaming to 2 people or 2,000 people. You put on the best that you can because they deserve it. They're still spending time with you.
If someone was coming over to your house every single day to hang out with you,
you'd be like, whoa,
wouldn't they be just as important as if you were going to like talk in front of a giant group of people? Because I would be way more comfortable hanging out in my living room with a couple of people than going to talk, because if I had to go talk in front of a big group of people, I'd be like,
never.
This would not be happening. I would be like,
true.
And we're done. But if I had just a couple of, that's the only reason. I mean, fuck, I'm autistic. I have social anxiety. I can't talk in front of people, but I can talk to my own face in front of a screen. Like,
right. And I feel like, you know, I don't have the, like, I'm not nervous to talk in front of a group of people or anything, but I just feel like I don't like the narrative that, like, because if you are streaming to less people, like, you're not, like, who cares? Like,
no,
people are still taking their
not.
time out of their day and to be with you, and that should be appreciated regardless if it's 2 people or 2,000 people. I really don't care what that number is. They deserve, you know, to be appreciated and valued, and that's what I feel like is super
100%.
important, for sure.
And I feel sometimes, and this is why, like, so my channel points are spoons. I have spoons for the spoonless. Too low on spoons to give a fork. For people that don't understand the spoon theory is like, you know, when you don't have enough energy to do something. Right. And there are days when, obviously, I've been through a serious thing in my life.
Very serious, yeah.
You know, and there
sometimes
are
we
days,
don't have spoons.
Some days I have good days, and some days I have bad days.
Right.
But I still have a community that I have built that wants to hang out with me, that I want to hang out with.
Right. And usually I always say, like, like, if you rally around a bunch of people, like the most amazing people are there, even on your worst days, they'll uplift you. It's not always like, you know, sometimes you just don't have the spoons, but sometimes, like, you're like, I feel like I feel like poopy today. I feel like I'm not that happy today. And then you hang out with your best friends and you're like, I feel so much better.
There are days when I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. Let's do this. Let's go. And then there are days where I'm like, all right, guys, we're going to sit down. We're going to relax. We're going to wear a fucking Udi and a beanie. And we're gonna have a chill stream. Right. Because I don't have it in me today.
Right.
And I may not be as right. But I can't, I love the fact that you are 1,000% chaos all the time. I can't
Don't talk
do
about
that.
me. Stop it. No, stop talking about me. But you should never, like, ever compare to anybody.
No. Comparison is the thief of joy. I
For
don't
sure,
compare.
Yeah. We don't compare. Yeah.
Right. And nobody can have that level of energy all the time.
Right. Well, I mean, and that's the thing.
I swear,
is I think
you
that,
run off of unicorn farts and crack. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't think anybody should, you know, for me, I always, people sometimes say I'm too hype and they're not into it. You can't ever appease everybody, right? So, like, for me, I'm obviously very, very, very hype every stream, and but, like, some people don't like that. Some people want cozy and calm, and, like, that's why whenever I say, if you don't like something, there are so many amazing streams out there. You don't have to stay. We appreciate you so heckin' much if you want to, but, like, there is a space for everybody on this platform.
Twitch is, you know? And that's exactly what I love about Twitch.
Right. Me too.
That's what I love about Twitch is that, like,
potion, not poison.
And that's
potion.
the thing too, is, like, some days I want to be in streams like yours. Some days I love you, but I have to put you on mute and walk away because it's too much.
Right.
Because, and it's not that there's some days where it's like, I can't, like, my headaches are too bad. I can't deal. And it's not that I don't support you or love you, and, you know, and there's some days where, and that's normal.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah, that is absolutely okay.
And that's another thing that, like, that people need to get their brains, like, wrapped around. That as long as, like you said, lurkers. Yeah. Like, as long as your community is there.
Are loved. Right.
to support you, like, be there, and that's okay. But if they're having a day where it's like, you know what, today's too much, and I need to self-care, and I need to take care of me, and I need to just do something else, okay.
Right.
Don't
Self-care is
take it
always
out. Don't take it out on them
priority.
that, holy shit, somebody's doing something else, or God forbid, they've got their own lives. Like, things are starting to open back up again, and people are now, granted, people are locking back down again in other places.
Yeah,
but,
like here. Yeah.
But also, things are going, like, Allie, she's got to be up first. She's a teacher.
I know.
And she goes to bed, and there's nights where I stream late, and she goes to bed. So it's like, okay,
of course.
cool.
Everybody, people have to remember that, like, just being here for a minute, people have lives, and people's lives should always take priority, and they should always. That's why I say, if you can come in for a minute, that's amazing, and if you can be here for the whole stream, that's amazing. But, like, you are not indebted to anyone's time. Like, you're not owed it by any means. So it's important to always recognize that, like, if one person is watching your stream or 10,000 people are watching your stream, every single person there should be appreciated because they are taking time out of their day. They matter. Absolutely. Fantastic. I completely agree. First of all, I just want to say you are amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate you so much. You've come so far. You've achieved so much. And I really thank you for being vulnerable and open and honest. It's a powerful thing when people use this platform for what it should be and what it can be if there's more of us here. So thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, NoobTastic Gaming. You are wonderful.
I appreciate you.
You are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That's why I chose to stream with Chris for December. So, like, last December and this December both, I did a mental health charity stream. Last December I streamed for Take This. This December I had met Chris through you.
Yeah.
So I was like, he's the perfect mental health charity.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And suicide awareness is huge for me.
Yeah.
Another piece to my backstory is, you guys all know Grandma Mountains. She's my mom. She's super supportive in chat. She's always here. She's always around. I don't know what I would do. I love her. But back about 9 years ago, she had attempted suicide.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Sorry if that is triggering at all. Sorry, trigger warning, guys. I didn't know where we were going. Sorry.
No.
I'm so sorry that
she and I'm the one that found her. And thankfully, obviously, she's still here. I saved her.
I'm so sorry that she and you went through that, and I'm so glad she's still here.
And no, I mean, it's important, but that's the thing. It's important that we talk about those things. It's important that people are open about things.
Right, of course.
And mental health is such a stigmatized thing in our country.
For sure.
And
yeah, definitely.
People are like, don't get help, don't whatever. But I took care of her, and I'm the one that got her help. And after I got her help, that's when I went and got myself help, and that's when I got my diagnosis as being autistic. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found out so many things about me.
So you not only did you take the aneurysm and turn it around into something beautiful, but then you took this very traumatic thing that happened with you and also turned it around and made it something positive, where you got your diagnosis of autism. So, like, you have that ability within you to make very scary and traumatizing things, and you not only do you endure them, but you turn them into something. Even your name, Noobtastic, like you really have an amazing ability for that. And I'm so glad that, you know, we talk about mental health in here all the time, and you guys know in our Discord we have a safe space that is monitored by Chris, who's the founder of Erica Legacy Foundation. So if you ever need to vent, it's a safe space, and it absolutely is something that needs to be destigmatized and talked about. And, you know, with being, you know, making sure that people feel safe and that they are prepared for these conversations, because they are heavy and things are, you know, it's a scary, it's especially through the pandemic. It's been a very hard time for many. So seriously, I mean, Noobtastic, I just want to say, so I know it's shocking, but we actually been talking over in an hour. I mean, time got a little bit away,
I'm one
but
that
that's okay.
I can talk to anybody, but like I said, if anybody has any questions, about mental health, about autism, about aneurysms, about any of that, please, you know where to find me. You can reach me.
Noobtastic Thank you so much. I just want to say again how amazing you are. I appreciate you spending your night with me. I know that a lot of people in your community were saying that they're staying up late to be here, and I'm so grateful that they did, and I'm so grateful, Noobtastic, that you were here
guys.
And you spent our night with us. Thank you so much, and you really are a triumphant woman, and I'm so honored that we have found each other on Twitch and that we can continue to grow and change and do good on this platform, and that is what this platform should be about. So I want to say thank you, NoobTastic Gaming, for being here, and I am Twitch X or Haley, and we will see you next time. Thank you.